What's up, guys? Scotty2Hockey here, aka the average hockey fan, and Montreal's biggest game of the season is happening tonight. This game has so many implications. If they win tonight and Columbus loses in regulation, they go 5 points up on Columbus for that second wildcard spot. If they win tonight against Carolina and Carolina were to lose this game in regulation, Montreal would tie them for the first wildcard spot. Yes, Carolina has a game in hand. Yes, they had more shootout losses, but it's better to see them get closer and closer to that first wildcard spot. Because realistically, if they get the first wildcard spot, they get to play Washington or the New York Islanders. They have beaten both those teams this year. They can compete against both those teams this year, and they match up well against both those teams this year. If they get the second wildcard spot, they're guaranteed to play the Tampa Bay Lightning, and playing Tampa Bay is a death wish for any team in the playoffs this year. The only chance I'd give them about a 10% chance against Tampa Bay, and the only reason I would give him that 10% chance is a Carey Price. He could steal a series for you. I've seen him do it against Boston years ago when Boston was the President's Trophy winners, and they were a great team. I've seen him steal a series, literally steal that series. The Habs may have scored 2-3 goals. Most of the games were like 2-1, 1-0. He had a couple shutouts in that series. I absolutely watched him steal that series against Boston. I could see him doing it against Tampa Bay, but the odds really aren't in his favor. I would give Tampa Bay a 90% chance of winning that series. I really would not be happy to see Montreal play Tampa Bay, but I would be happy to see him in the playoffs either way. But honestly, you want him to win this game. You want him to get this first wildcard spot. As for Carolina, they've been a great team all year. They had a bit of their struggles midway through the season, but overall they've been a pretty consistent team. They got good goal scoring, they got good goaltending. Their defense is where Montreal, I feel, is a little bit better, and their penalty kill, Carolina's penalty kill is really good, but their power play, like the Habs, is lackluster. But the Habs are dead last in the league on their power play. As for Carolina, they're 41-26-7. Their last 5 games, they're 3-2-0. Their last game, they won 5-1 against the Minnesota Wild, which definitely helped the Colorado Avalanche because that put the Colorado Avalanche into the wild card spot in the West. Power play percentage, 16.6%. It's not a great power play, but it's still a lot better than the Habs power play. 24th in the league. Penalty kill, 81.6%. A top 10 power play in the league. They are 8th in the league on the power play, and the Habs are dead last, so that's a bad mix. They're 8th in the league on the penalty kill, and the Habs are dead last on the power play. So that's not a very good mixture right there. Their goals for is 223. That's good for 15th in the league. Their goals against is 205. That's good for 6th in the league. Mrazek is their starting goalie is Mrazek. 20-13-3, 2.46 goals against, and a .911 save percentage with 4 shutouts. Their backup is Curtis McElhinney. 18-9-2, 2.59 goals against, .913 save percentage, and I forgot to write down how many shutouts he had, but I know he has a few. As for Carolina's top scorers, they already have a 70 and an 80-point scorer. Aho, 74 games played, 30 goals, 50 assists, 80 points, plus 25, 13.4% shooting for Aho. Their second leading scorer, Tara Vinen, 74 games played, 19 goals, 51 assists, 70 points, a plus 28, 12.3% shooting. Their third leading scorer, a lot of LA Kings fans' favorite player, and a player I respect a lot, and a guy who can hurt you in big games. He's a true big game player. Justin Williams, 74 games played, 22 goals, 26 assists, 48 points. He's a -6 with a 10.3 shooting percentage. As for Montreal, pretty similar numbers to Carolina, actually. 40-28-7. They're 4th in the Atlantic, second wild card. Carolina's first wild card, I believe they're 4th in the Metro. Last 5 games, they're 3-2-0. Their last game, they won 7-4 over the Sabres. Their power play is 12.6%, a measly 31st in the league, dead last. But they have scored power play goals in their last 2 games, so there is a bit of hope. As for their penalty kill, it's 80.5. That's good for 18th in the league. Their goals for is 226. That's good for 14th in the league. And their goals against is 217, 26th in the league. And it would be a lot better if Niemi wasn't so bad as what he was with like almost 4 goals against and well below 900 save percentage. So the goals against would help them a lot more. With Carey Price in net, the goals against really doesn't matter that much. Carey Price, 32-22-5, 2.52 goals against, .916 save percentage, 4 shutouts, did look tired in his last game. He'll be playing his last back-to-back of the season, so let's hope he can stand tall tonight. I do believe it will be Carey Price. As tired as Price looked last game, and as bad of a game as he had, not terrible, he still won the game, but not good by Price's standards, as bad as the game as he had, I still believe he's going to be played tonight. I do not see Julien making the same mistake of putting Anthony Niemi in for another backup for him to cost us a game like this. This important of a game with 7 games left in the season, you cannot put Niemi in net. I can't stress that enough, and I'm sure Claude Julien is a smart enough coach to recognize that. As for the leading scorers, Domi had a great game last game. I predicted he would be the MVP of the game, and in my mind, he definitely was the best player of the game. He had a power play goal, 2 assists, scored that clutch late goal. Max Domi, 75 games played, 26 goals, 41 assists, 67 points. Could be the first player since 2010, Thomas Plekanec, to score 70 points in a Habs uniform. We haven't had a 70-point scorer in 9 years almost. Plus 16, 14.4% shooting. Thomas Tatar, 73 games played, 23 goals, 31 assists, 54 points. Also had a great game last night. Plus 21 and 12.7 shooting percentage for Tatar. Jonathan Drouin did not have a good game last game. He had a bad turnover in his own zone. He couldn't keep it in his own zone. Ended up leading up to the other teams and couldn't keep it in the zone, in his other team's zone, and they ended up coming up in the Montreal zone. Buffalo did. That's where they played last. Buffalo ended up coming up in the Montreal zone and ended up scoring. It resulted on a bad play by Drouin. He couldn't keep it in there. He couldn't keep it in the opposing team's zone. Excuse me on that one, guys. I got a bit screwed up. As for Drouin, 74 games played, 18 goals, 34 assists, 52 points, a -4, and a 12.7 shooting percentage on the year for Jonathan Drouin. But I believe he will play good tonight against Carolina. He is the type of player who can play good against his team because they're not the best defensively. They're not going to stop you from getting quality shots. They have been, depending on their goaltending a bit, in some games, but recently they've just been outscoring teams. The way to beat Carolina tonight is do not let them get quality shots on you. Carolina is a team that will get a lot of shots on you. They're going to get 30 shots at least. They're probably going to get 35, maybe even 40 some nights. Make sure at least 30 of those shots are not quality scoring attempts. Force them to the outside on their shots. Leave no traffic in front of the net. Make them take weak shots from the point. Give them troubles when they're gaining the zone. Also use your speed against them. Carolina is a fast team, but if you can get them on their heels and use their own game against them, they can fall apart, and you want to get on them early. This is not a team you want to give an early lead to because they play so well with an early lead. They're very hard to get the lead back, and they're like the Habs were earlier in the year. They can swarm you with goals. They get 1 or 2, and all of a sudden, before you know it, it's 4-1, 5-1, and Carolina got the game wrapped up. That's not the way you want to play against the Canadiens tonight. I would like to see Montreal get out to an early lead. Maybe go into the second period up 2-0. That's how the Habs are going to win tonight. My prediction for tonight's game, it really, really could go anyway. I really, really believe this is going to be a playoff type atmosphere game, and that Montreal is going to win the game 4-3, but they're going to have to fight hard for it, and it's going to be in overtime. I believe Price will have a decent night. I don't think he's going to stand on his head against this team. This is too good and too high scoring of a team to stand on your head against and shut him out. I would love to see him do it, but he is tired. He is playing his last back-to-back of the season. He has played a lot of hockey, so I'm hoping if Price does allow 3 goals, the Habs can score 4 and win it in overtime. But like I say, it could go either way. I'm a Habs fan. I got faith in them women, and I want them to win this game, so I'm picking the Habs to win this game 4-3, and I really, really hope they win it. I hope they rattle off another win against Florida and then another win against Columbus. Get that first wild card spot. That's what I want to see as a Habs fan. I hope you guys are looking forward to this game tonight as much as me. I may live stream the game. Tune in the first period. Check my channel. If I'm gone live, that means that I'm definitely live streaming the Carolina game. Hope you guys enjoy the game as much as I will, because I know I'm definitely looking forward to this game. I was so pumped the Habs won last night. That was a huge win, and to send them into this game with the confidence they have. I believe they're playing in Carolina, so that's pretty brutal to leave from Montreal, go straight to Carolina. They're not going to be well rested. I don't know how much practice they're going to have, but I still believe they can win this game, and if they're going to stop the surge at the end of the game, there will be no storm surge in Carolina tonight. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on the game. Sorry about the late preview. I just got off work. I'm running on a few hours sleep, doing the best I can with it, but I'm staying up for tonight's game for sure. Really hope they win this game. Hope Price has a great game. And my MVP for tonight's game, I'm going to pick Thomas Tatar. I really feel he had a very strong third period last game. He's going to carry it over into this game. He's going to get a goal and assist. I feel Thomas Tatar is going to be the MVP of this game, and the Habs are going to win 4-3. Anyways, guys, stay tuned for my recap and stay tuned for my preview of the next game. This is Mr. Average Hockey Fan, over and out. Enjoy the game.